Hello, hello. Welcome to the Relationship Show We Talk About It show. And today I have the honor and the big pleasure to welcome and have for guest Alun Jones. Hi, Alun. How you be?
I am awesome. Thank you very much, Mr. Romain.
Oh my God. You said it like I love it. Thank you so much. When we met in London last year, and I'm so grateful, like, for you to be a part of my life, even if there is like 17,000 kilometers from each other. No, there's some people, like, you can be a contribution without having to text anyone all day, or it's a part of relationship too. So thank you so much for that. And the contribution you are for the world. Thank you so much. And yeah, if anyone on this call or watching this replay on YouTube doesn't know you, what do you like to do? What brings you joy?
Oh dear God! These are the kinds of questions that I always hate to answer because I always sound so boring. It's like, what do you do for your hobbies? Well, I read books about consciousness, and it's like, I go for walks.
Yeah, I love it.
Masturbate,
Good.
That's my hobby. What do I love to do? I love talking. Like, talking for me is really ease. Talking about relationship, sex, and bodies is really easy for me, and I actually love to talk about it.
Can I say, I did? We invite you for Ask a Gentleman live a few weeks back, and it is the only live I ended up topless. I removed my shirt at the time.
True story.
Yeah. It's an invitation, to be truly vulnerable and naked.
And if we look at the whole kind of relationship thing, if we're not willing to be naked for ourselves, how can we be naked in front of other people? And, we have to be willing to have that with ourselves. And if we don't have a good relationship with us and our bodies, how the hell can we have that with anybody else? Because it can get really strained. For me, the whole body issue, I've been skinny, I've been large, I've been muscly, I've been not muscly, and it's like I've been kind of all the spectrum. I've been no hair, I've had lots of hair, and all the time I hated my body. And it was only since using the tools of access that I actually started to look at that, going, okay, this is not working for me. And now I have my naked body all over the internet, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Oh, I remember maybe 2 years back, you had a bath with some maybe cucumber or something.
Yeah.
I remember
that. My face, I actually recently took some black and white photographs of me naked reading a book and drinking coffee, and I love them. There's just such an ease with it, and so for me, it's like, what can I invite people to have that for themselves? Because if you're constantly trying to cover bits up, how can you be vulnerable with someone and have a relationship with someone if you're constantly trying to hide bits from you? Yeah. I remember watching the film Bridget Jones. I think it's the second one, and she gets up in the morning and she's changing under a sheet, and he says to her, Mark Darcy says to her, "What are you doing?" She's, "I'm getting changed." He goes, "Why are you doing it under a sheet?" She's, "Because I don't want you to see my wobbly bits." And he says, "Well, actually, I happen to find your wobbly bits really appealing." And then she just kind of stopped and looked and dropped a sheet and went, "Oh, well, that's okay then." And if it's almost like you have to be comfortable with your own wobbly bits. Otherwise you're constantly hiding them.
Yeah.
It's not a kindness to you or the person that you're showing your wobbly bits to.
And it's never worked. Everything you try to hide is something boom, will ping everyone, because there is a lie attached to that. So, nurturing your relationship with yourself, and have the willingness to be vulnerable and naked. Like, you don't have to be naked on the street. It's not what we are talking about, but you could be at the same time.
Yeah. You just don't get arrested. Probably best not to walk around naked, because there's enough. You haven't got. Well, you can walk around naked with a face mask and gloves on, and then you might be all right. Apparently.
Will you do another picture?
Yeah, surgical. I don't have a mask and gloves because
me neither.
Like, so yeah, I don't have those.
So I only have one question. Like, no, it's my second, but you started to answer the one. The only one I've got scripted is like, hey, Alun, what's relationship for you? And you already answered a bit of that. And it could be anything about relationship. And like, the first thing spinning you right now, what's relationship for you?
Oh, wow. I actually wrote part of a book about relationships a few years ago. Just saying.
Oh, with Alison? She said that to me too, Alison Cox, a few episodes back.
It might have been part of the same book, actually. It was with, oh my God, I can't even remember.
What's the name?
Cassy Jones Williams. We all wrote this book. There are about 20 of us wrote this book called Relationships Done Easy. And my chapter is the last one in the book, and it's called Relationship. Who the fuck would want that?
I love it.
And the reason I did that was, if I look at, like, for me, if you ever read the chapter, it talks about what I saw in relationship as I grew up, with how my mother and my aunts, who were like, I have 7 aunts, and most of them are divorced, and they all hated their husbands, and it was all really horrible. And I'm just looking at all of this stuff, and I'm like, why would I want a relationship if that's what happens? And their relationship with themselves was not brilliant. So for me, it's like, relationship for me now is very much a co-creation. So if I look at my relationship with my partner, I was talking about this in foundation class I was facilitating today, and I was saying, we met when I was 22, and I'm now nearly 50. So we've been together 26 years. And literally, I think a month after we met, I was 23. So, and what was really interesting about that was I never had that thing of, because before that it'd always been, is this going to be the person I'm going to spend the rest of my life with? Because that's what you do in your 20s. Or this is the one, I have to have the relationship. And then when Bill came along, it was just, hey, I didn't even heard of Access at the time. It was just like, well, let's just keep having fun until it's not, and then we'll change it. And that's kind of where we've always functioned from. And no, it hasn't always been fun. And we've kind of had to look at stuff and work through stuff. And what really became clear to me for relationship is there isn't a one size fits all. So we're always looking for, this is your secret recipe to having an amazing relationship. And we're looking for that book that tells us, like, this is how you kind of get a man, and this is how you keep a man, or this is how you have a woman and keep a woman, and this is why women think like this, so you have to do this for a woman. And it's like, where is the question in any of that as to, well, what do you want? What do you actually want in a relationship? What works for you, regardless of whether it's what everybody else tells you you should have. Like, especially considering my relationship with as a man. So I'm not going to have a wife. I'm not going to have children and a picket fence and a dog and and all of that stuff that was so expected and projected. My mother's not going to have grandchildren and all of, we're not going to have a big wedding and all of these things that I kind of look at it and God, the pressure. and then, of course, everyone thinks, oh, well, gay relationship, that's really easy. Except when you go out and you start interacting with kind of gay culture, gay scene, there's all of these different pressures about what, and people used to say to me, which one of you is the man and which is the woman? I'm like, well, we both have a penis. Like there's no vagina involved, so I don't think there's a woman in this relationship. And like we haven't even done that. Like, and I do get that years ago, one person would tend to be more effeminate and one more kind of masculine or butch. Bill and I have never really functioned from that space. It's just about who enjoys doing what, and then let's just play with that. So we both do the cooking, we both do the washing and ironing, we both kind of do the cleaning. I do most of it because I'm at home all day, and he works outside, but he'll do the garden. I'm not doing that. Jesus, I break a nail. So relationship for me is a choice to share with someone that contributes to you both, that contributes something to the world around you from that mutual contributing to each other, and having fun. If it's not fun, don't choose it. Like, really. If it's like sliding down razor blades, get the hell out of there. Like, and nobody go visual on that. Like, people do. We choose relationship because that's what you do. I have to. It's just awful what people choose. Well, okay, interesting point of view. It surprises me sometimes when I see what people choose over and over again with relationship. It's like I'm going to keep dropping a brick on my foot because that's what you do.
Yeah.
We go home at Christmas to stay with our family, even though we know it's going to be really painful. It's that time of year to drop another brick on your foot.
Yeah. Yeah, there is a lot of insanity in relationship and like how people choose and like want to fit other people boxes, and sometimes they just don't ask what would the other one expect, and so they try to fit something that the other one doesn't even expect. So that just fucking insane. And like when you really decide just to choose for you, like, and do things for you will bring you joy and do really for you, not against other. Yeah. Did when you do that, you become and you choose to become the leader of your life, not for the other one to follow you, but to be an invitation for them to choose more for them, not for you. And that's crazy, and it changed everything. It brings so much more lightness to everything. Like if you're in a relationship and like you don't need something for the other one, but your barrier down, like you let them be contribution for you, it's way more better. Like if you just acknowledge the fact that you are the one fulfilling this happiness cup of yours, like the other one, you let the other one be a contribution, but you don't need them to fulfill that. How much light it is? Way much light.
So true. Like that. Like I don't need Bill to choose happiness in my life. It's fun when he is contributing and we're having fun together, but I can also do it on my own. And again, for me, what's really important for our relationship is that we have space. We have stuff that we don't do together. Bill doesn't do access at all, and I it's interesting some of the comments I've had over the years. One of them once said to me, well, you're not very access because you've been with your partner for so long. So of course everyone who does access consciousness tours is a complete slapper and just shags around and doesn't have a relationship at all, because interesting point of view, right? And then there was another one saying, how can you be with someone who doesn't do access? You mean, oh my god, like we will have to choose the same things, otherwise it's not going to work. There's just so much fixed points and like, this is not to say everyone in access has said that to me. These are individuals who have, for me, misinterpreted what access is actually offering. But it has just made me giggle with, how can you be with someone who's not choosing consciousness? And my response was, what makes you think he's not choosing consciousness? Just he doesn't use access.
I totally get that. Like, a lot of people like misinterpret things and like, just like train your muscle, ask question. Like those are amazing tools. I love them, and I train myself. I do challenge with myself or with others, and like, okay, lowering down my barriers, like asking questions all the time, and that's awesome. But I never did it for someone else. I never asked someone else to do it. I can be an invitation, but like it's been maybe since 2 or 3 years, I know I cannot change people. They have to choose to catch the invitation, and like, yeah, they will have their own epiphany. They will like, I can see the spark, and I would love to help them like lighting up, but they have to choose it. And it's way, way much lighter. And I spoke about family, about clients, about whatever. Like, I only want to work and be around people who choose to engage to themselves, not to me, but to their life. Like, what do you want to choose? Like, and maybe it will be not to see me anymore, and that's cool. How does it get any better than that? Choose what's right for you. Only do what's right for you, and it's a muscle. Like, I put reminders on my phone like daily. Like, it depends. Oh, boom. Do only what's work for you, or ask question, or who I am being right now, whatever. I just train my muscle for me because those tools are amazing. But I don't try to vomit them. Like, it's just like, hey guys, we want to choose something different. And if you don't, I'm totally fine with it. It's not for me. Go for it. Go for it. We have a question after that. Go for it.
Have we? Can you talk more about tools around intimacy? Well, yeah, I mean, intimacy is one of those things where there's, the 5 elements of intimacy, from access consciousness of vulnerability, gratitude, allowance, trust, and honoring. And my question would be, do you have vulnerability with you? Do you have gratitude for you? Do you trust you? Do you honor you and your body and what your body requires and desires? Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Vulnerability, gratitude, allowance. Do you have allowance for you, or do you just the shit out of yourself the whole time? And so for me, tools around intimacy is one of my favorite tools ever is Universe Show Me. So Universe Show Me what vulnerability is. Universe Show Me what gratitude, allowance, trust, and honoring are. Show me where I'm doing that. Show me where I'm not doing it. Show me what else is possible. The Universe Show Me tool, because sometimes some of these concepts are so far beyond what we've experienced that we can't even get a grasp of, right, like a whisper of what is gratitude for me even like. And so when you have a relationship, and you were talking about barriers down, some people say, what does that even mean? It means you're not looking initially to resist and react or try and hide stuff. Like, oh my God, I can't let my partner know that I was looking at somebody else today. Yeah. My face is pretty expressive. Bill knows when I'm looking at somebody. It's like, I can't hide it. And that's not an issue for us. And that kind of true gratitude for ourselves, like, be grateful for every choice we've ever made, and that can stick a few people. I don't tell Bill that I love him. That's not a word that I kind of use because it always feels so funky. I'm really grateful for him, and I really appreciate him, and I'm so happy that he's in my life. Like, those for me have a much more generative energies than me going, I love you. And it's not to say for anyone else, don't say I love you. I'm not saying that. For me, it's like, I am so grateful for him that it kind of goes beyond so many of the definitions that people have of what love is. So intimacy for me is not just about, actually, intimacy for me has nothing to do with copulation, putting body parts together. You can copulate with someone with no intimacy at all. We were talking about that in the foundation again today, and I'm like, yeah, like I've met some men in my life where we've copulated and there's been no intimacy, there's no vulnerability, no gratitude, no kind of
allowance.
It's like, whoa, yeah, that was an interesting choice. So my first thing would be, tools around that would be, what do you know about intimacy that nobody else knows? Because when you explore it for you, you get to experience it. What do I know about intimacy? What do I know about intimacy? So that's the curiosity. You're not looking for answers. You're just looking for awareness. What do I know about intimacy with relationships? What do I know of the gift of intimacy? What would that even be? Yeah. So where are you? Yeah, like I said, the vulnerability piece is that willingness to not make anyone else wrong, not make you wrong. And when you know you fucked up, is actually say, do you know what? So here's an example of where I'm totally willing when I see that I've been a bit of an arse. So we were in the kitchen once, and it sounds really stupid, but this is how some of the arguments can happen in people's relationships. It's just the smallest thing that can spark off this enormous thing. And the tea and coffee canisters, I stacked them on top because I like clean surfaces, because I'm a bit OCD about my surfaces. And Bill said to me, can you not stack the canisters like that? And my response, I was just straight back in with, when you fucking clean the shelves, you can put the canisters how you want. And I just saw this intensity smack him, like just go woof. And his face was like, actually, I find that really, and he was really offended by it. And I went, do you know what? You're absolutely correct. I'm sorry. That was really unkind of me. How can we change this so that it works for both of us? Not compromise, because that's the difference. It wasn't compromise. So how can we change this so it works for both of us? So we moved all the shelves around, and so the canisters are still back against the wall, but they're kind of spread along rather than on top of each other. And that worked really well.
I love it. Yeah.
So, that was just that willingness to go, yeah, that wasn't perhaps my best choice. And that's what happens when we resist and we react and we have all the auto-responders of, he's making me wrong because I'm stacking the canisters, so I have to defend my corner. No, I don't. It's canisters.
Yeah.
Really, at the end of the day. And so again, allowance for me is things like, I have OCD and I'm okay with that. And Bill doesn't tend to have the OCD that I have. So there are some things that I like to have just so. So in the bathroom in the morning when he's been in, I now know that he will always put the toothpaste on the right, even though the toothbrush holder is on the left. And it took me a long while to work out, why does he keep doing that? He picks it up from the left. Why does he put it down on the right? And I made it all about me. He's only doing it to annoy me. Had nothing to do with me. He's left-handed. So when he holds his toothbrush, he puts the toothpaste on with his right hand. So it's absolutely perfect. And I'm right-handed, so I do it the other way. And you see what I mean? So there's just this crazy thing going on. So now I know that when he's finished in the bathroom, I just go in and I move it back. And he's okay with that.
Love it.
Yeah. And that's not compromise. That's just, and I'm moving it not for him. It's allowance for him. It's that's what I need to do so I don't walk in the bathroom and freak out because nothing is not in the tape.
And it's awesome because when you stop fighting that, and like you literally have the trust that he will put the toothpaste on the right, and like it's okay. I'm an allowance of that, and I will just put it back. And that's awesome. And like life being way much more easier. And as you said, it's not compromise. It's like, you are in allowance for yourself, you are in allowance for the other one, and like, what else is possible? What can be created?
And it's like looking at all of this stuff, and there are some things that I'll kind of go, yeah, okay, he's not going to change that. Does that actually really matter? No, because I can go and do it. Then there are some things that I look at and I'm like, no, that really doesn't work for me. And so I will kind of ask him, okay, can you please do this? Because this doesn't work for me, or this is what happens when you do that. And that's not a great choice. So can you please do? And so it's that willingness in a relationship to ask for 100% of what you want 100% of the time. and be still willing to receive a no. Because
Yeah.
if you don't ask for what you want in a relationship, I used to watch my mother with people around her, and she would just say things like, well, you could see I was struggling, or you could see I needed it, or, why didn't you ask me? It's like, well, you've got a tongue in your head, open it, ask for it. But asking for things in our family was, you don't ask for it, you wait for someone to offer because that's impolite. Or you're so needy. If you ask for things, then you're needy. Well, my mother is and remains to this day one of the most needy victim people that kind of functions on this planet. But she doesn't verbalize it. She not to ask a question. She'll just whine and get really angry about it later and sulk until someone asks her what the problem is. It's an interesting way of creation.
Yeah, it's amazing because for a very long time, like, we need to acknowledge that we are in, like, we can perceive and like receive energy from each other, and at the same time you're not in their head as the meaning, like, you have to be the invitation for the other one to ask you something. Like, it's your choice to answer that or not. But like, if you and let like this little bicycle go there and like, oh, I really need to, no, it's not working. Before it, I'm with Elodie for maybe 17 years this year. And it's the same, it's roller coaster. And I'm fine with it, like sometimes fun, sometimes not fun. So we keep asking questions. For many years, I was trying to enter into her head to know what's going on. So, oh, I can see what's going on. It's never worked. It's never, like, it's not good. Now, I just go there and say, oh, let me know if I can be a contribution for you. And I give few seconds. I can perceive it will come right now or not. And if not, say, I'm there for you. And go back. And she can come back to me and like with her own word and like, sometimes it's just not even about you at all. It's just like, but you can be a contribution or not, their choice, not yours.
True story. It's very rarely about us with anyone, whoever you are interacting with. It's never about you. It's always about them. And I again, for me, because I even before being with Access, I've been coaching people and facilitating for years, like a long time. And I used to have this habit of when Bill had a problem, I would try and fix it with him and like, what can we do? And blah, blah, blah. And now when he's kind of ranting about something, my question to him is, what do you need from me? What can I contribute here? Do you just want to rant? Or do you need me to facilitate you and ask you some questions? Just tell me what works for you. Because then he can say, can you ask me some questions? But most of the time it's, I just need to sound off, because he's a bit of a drama queen.
Okay. I love it.
And it's funny.
Allowance. Yeah. Yeah, just that.
And I don't always think of it like that's like, because sometimes I'm like, hey, do you know what? No, this is not working for me. And I can have those drama moments as well. And he's pretty good, and he actually is much better at just receiving that and not facilitating me, and just kind of being an allowance of my drama kind of princess moments. So it's very funny. Yeah.
It's remember me like maybe last year. Yeah, at some point I can see like Elodie was pissed off, and I was like, oh, can I contribute to you? And she's like, no, I choose to be mad for this 10 seconds, maybe 10 minutes, maybe 10 hours, but it's okay. And I was like, yeah, that is like not going to the wrongness of it. Like when you're aware, or the first thing is the awareness of it, and then the choice. And you are like, you can choose to be mad sometimes, like, and like, it's just, if you are a drama queen for days, or some people it's months, years, yeah, like choose to change when you choose it. But you can be mad and just be aware of it and say, yeah, for this 10 seconds, maybe 10 minutes, I will be mad, and I would choose something different when I would choose something different. It's amazing. And those tools are great. We have something, there is so much kindness in the space of not making other people shit your issue, but just offering when being asked for it. Freedom for both sides. Yeah.
It's not my responsibility to make Bill happy, and neither is it his responsibility to make me happy. Or it's like, and I used to think that I need him to be happy so that I can have space here. Because if he's like, then that's going to affect me. Only if I allow it to. Okay, Bill's in that kind of space. That's okay. And I'll tease him sometimes and go, okay, well, clearly being a drama queen right now is working for you. So you come and let me know when you're ready to choose that different.
Yeah.
And
I love
it. So they're saying, I see I was doing coaching with exes and it can be in a really intrusive way. Yeah, like facilitating people when they haven't asked you, whether that's your partner or anybody else.
It's not kindness.
One of my favorite things to say to people when they do that to me is, thank you so much for that. How much do I owe you for that unsolicited facilitation?
Love it.
It's like, just don't do it. I didn't ask you. Stop being a superior arsehole. We don't get to choose whether people get out of their shit or not. We can just be an invitation to something else. Do you want to change it? No? Okay, let's move on then.
Boom. Yeah, and I love it. And it's awesome because I really love to lower my bias like all the time. And at the moment doing that challenge, it's like just being a hourly reminder for me of that. And it's really give way much more ease to use and be the other tools. It's like so much less resistance, and like as your barriers or walls are really pushed back, like way down, it's like really more ease to interact with other people. Like those level of vulnerability is just boom.
And I think, for a couple of reasons. One of the reasons I love not to resist and react and defend with all of these kind of thoughts, feelings, emotion, wall barriers up is if I would like to be in any way an effective facilitator, I've got to be willing to have total awareness of what's going on. Otherwise, I facilitate people through my own walls and barriers of perceptions and resistances and reactions and fixed points of view, and that's not kind. Whereas if I get rid of all that shit, even if it's just for a class, just for today, I'm not going to have any of those, so that I can be whatever is required for these people, so that they get to choose something different if they would like to. And it's the same with, and I don't always succeed, but I do my very best. And it's that muscle that the more we do it, the easier it gets. And when it comes to creating my own life, if I have any walls and barriers up, I can't have a good relationship with my business. I can't have a good relationship with my clients. I can't have a good relationship with my body. Like if I have judging my body, which kind of effectively is sticking up a whole load of walls and barriers, and most of those judgments were never mine. So if you want to have really great communion with your body, the way to be vulnerable is to stop judging the shit out of your body, and that's a choice. It's just a choice.
Just a choice.
Yeah, it's just a choice.
Everything else, just a choice.
Just choice.
Million choice, but just choice. Boom, that's being the leader of your life. I love it. That has been pretty intense, and I know you facilitating foundation has been a great day. And like, what time is it behind you? Is she working? No, she's not.
No, it's not. It is +10 here.
Oh my God. It has been so cool, and like, thank you so much. I have so much credit for you and for those time, and let's play together on other creation. Like,
definitely.
Thank you so much, everyone watching this live and commenting or watching the replay on YouTube or Facebook. Thank you so much. Like, what else is possible about relationship, and like, keep choosing what's worked for you. And when you talk about vulnerability, and when we talk about vulnerability, I can remember last year in Melbourne at Dane's SOP class, I was laying down on the table, and Simon Milazas and then Brendan Watts doing SOP on me during the exchange, and I was like crying so much. I was like, are you okay? Yeah, I am. I just asked what energy, space, consciousness, and choice my body and I can be to be the most vulnerable person on earth right now. And I just cried from a space who was so beautiful. Like, I wasn't in pain at all. It was like having so much more receiving in my life. And so, boom. Thank you so much, and see you very soon.
Thank you very much for inviting me. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks everyone.